Hey friends, Peggy Hall here. It is Thursday. Today is November 18th. It is great to be back with you. And was it yesterday or the day yesterday? I had a personal emergency, so I could not air live with you, but I am so glad that you are here. And I am so glad that I am here. So, we have been talking about talking. We have been talking about listening. We have been talking about healing those broken relationships. And I want to give you a little sneak preview for tomorrow because I am all about positivity and possibility. And I want to help you remember all of the blessings that you are experiencing, even in the midst of broken relationships. There are new relationships to be found. I am grateful that you are here as a part of my healthy American family. This is a sponsored show. And before we dive in, let me bring you over here to actually, let me cue that up for you. I would love to hear where you are tuning in from today. And it is a gorgeous fall day here in Southern California. Let me bring you on over to Keto with Peggy.com. Oh, let me get rid of this and this. This is where I'd like you to go. It is Keto Elevate, Keto with Peggy.com. I have a very special message for you. So I am going to actually read that. And I want to thank the sponsor of the Healthy American Morning. Was I calling it Peggy to the Rescue? Oh my gosh. I've got my Peggy to the Rescue show in the afternoon at 3 p.m. And today we are going to talk about another type of medical setting for those of you that are dealing with CMS, which is the Center for Medicare, uh, something or other, but it's called CMS. And I have good news for you this afternoon. The message I have for you now is keto has been a hot topic for years now. Myself and thousands of others have personally experienced weight loss and health benefits thanks to keto. But we do have a secret, and that is this amazing new keto powder. So, Keto with Peggy is a premium powdered form of the most ketogenic MCT oil called C8. It helps give you many of the benefits of elevated ketones without having to completely follow the rigid guidelines of the keto diet. So, within weeks of taking it, three things happened. First, it really helped control my appetite, which helped me lose weight. And second, I had more energy and just seemed ready to take on the day. And third, I even saw an improvement in my mental focus. So take Keto with Peggy and watch your fat melt before your eyes. This Black Friday, actually, we are coming up on Black Friday, but you can still go today to ketowithpeggy.com. And I will also have a link for you below to get up to 51% off of your order today. All right, who have we got with us today, friends? Thank you for taking just a moment to like the video. You need to minimize the chat screen, I think, so that that little thumb shows on the video right below the video. And then the other thing is I'm going to share this beautiful card with you at the end of the broadcast. So please stay with me until then. And we've got New York. Thank you, Chandel, for being on board from Maine. We've got Bakersfield. Thank you to my moderators. We've got KP and Rhonda. I texted Rhonda yesterday saying, Rhonda, I'm not going to be able to make the show. And that was so sweet. She put something on one of the previous videos so you would know what happened. I do try to get here Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Angela loves the MCT oil. It does keep her slim and energetic, and it kept her from feeling bloated. It gives me energy. It actually really does help with appetite control. Mark is asking about OSHA. Oh, Mark, you're going to love my videos on OSHA. So please watch. I've got 3 new videos on OSHA, and that is in my religious exemptions playlist. We've got Lake Tahoe, Michigan, San Diego, and Colorado and California. Let's rewind a little bit and remind ourselves of a skill that I taught a couple of days ago, which I call Tell Me More. So when somebody wants to share their view, and even if you don't agree with it, my view is that you allow them to air their thoughts and their opinion, and you listen attentively. Sometimes the reason we have a lot of friction and conflict is because we launch into an argument before the person even had their say. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to remind you that we cannot control what anyone else does. We cannot control what they say. We cannot control their reactions. We cannot control their emotions. It's not even possible. It's very difficult to even control our own. But I do want to give you all of the tools that I know of so that at least you will have an opportunity to improve these communication skills. So, especially when someone has a different point of view, it is so important that you demonstrate that you are hearing them. So looking at them, a pleasant expression on your face. I mentioned the utterances, which are things like, uh-huh, yes, mm-hmm, I see, go on, uh-huh. You're not agreeing with them. You are just encouraging them and you're letting them know that you are hearing them, because that's what everyone wants. Is we want to be heard, we want to be recognized, we want to be validated, we want to be approved of, we want to be appreciated. There's all these things that as human beings we learned as children because it was really a survival skill. Now as adults we can leave all of that approval and appreciation. We don't need that from others. We can do that for ourselves. But when it comes to communicating with another person, when you're trying to give your opinion and they haven't really voiced theirs to their satisfaction, they're never going to hear you. All they're thinking about is how they can reinforce their argument, what other examples they can bring. Maybe they can be louder, maybe they can be more persuasive. They actually are not listening to you at all. Isn't that interesting? Most people do not listen to other people. This is what is going to set you aside and make you such a valuable participant in this communication event by actually listening. And your body position is open. You don't have your arms folded. You're not looking at your phone. You're not looking around. You're not looking to see if there's somebody more important to talk to. You're listening. It's amazing. And when you listen to them and you say, uh-huh, I see, yes. And then you say, tell me more. And they're like, wow, this person's a really good conversationalist. They're really interesting. And you haven't even said anything other than tell me more. And then they tell you more. And then you say, what else? And they're like, well, another thing. And they tell you the other thing. And you keep saying that until they've run out of gas. And you may say, Peggy, you don't know this friend of mine. He never runs out of gas. He is going to dominate the conversation. Well, you already know that about him. That's a given. I can't change anything about anybody. All I can change is you. I can't even change you. But all you can do is change yourself. All you can do is modify, adapt, adjust, and be aware of what you are doing. So what I do, what I strive to do, and I still need to keep working at it, is I will say, uh-huh, oh, yes, I see, mm-hmm, go on, oh. And then you may even say something like, well, that's an interesting perspective. That's something I hadn't thought of before. And then here comes the other part. Now you're going to reflect back what that person said. I know this is hard for most of us. We do not want to repeat the words that someone else said. It's so powerful. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. You're going to repeat back exactly what they said. You don't even need to come up with new words. So if they say, I decided I'm going to do XYZ, and then you say, oh, you listen, and then you say, oh, you've decided to do XYZ. That's all you need to say. You're going to repeat back using their words. Why is this important? Because this is evidence that you are listening, because you actually are telling them what you heard. And then something really cool happens with most rational people. And that is they feel a sense of relief. You understood me. You heard me. They may even think you're agreeing with them, even though all you're doing is repeating back. And it can be done on the simplest examples. And when you start doing this, your communication skills are going to improve. Now, you keep encouraging the person. What else? I see. Okay. So you believe that blah, 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 blah. And you don't give any opinion yet. We're not there yet. You're still getting all the information out of the other person. So this is especially great. Parents with children, spouses, friends, your boss. When you repeat back what they said, it's actually a great communication tool. And it's authentic. I do it all the time. So I've got some lovely assistants that help me at the Healthy American. And if they have an idea or something, I strive to say, oh, tell me more. Uh-huh. So your view is that if we do this, then this will happen. And then they're like, yeah, that's it. Then they can actually be ready to hear you. Because if you give your opinion before you have reflected back, that's what it's called, reflective listening. When you reflect back, they can relax a little bit. They don't have to have their mind keep going a million miles an hour trying to think of another argument to bring and to try to convince you to think of something, because they're like, wow, I guess they got it. They're getting it. Not that you are agreeing with it. Now, there are some people that they either don't let you get a word in edgewise, or they are absolutely uninterested in what you have to say. They could care less. They actually don't value what you have to say. They don't want to hear it. There's really nothing you can do about those people. And I know, because I know them. I know these people. Some of these people I've known for years, and all they do is talk about themselves. And you're thinking, wow, it would be nice if they said, hey, how are things going with you? Or what's your new project? Or what's going on with work? Or like, that never happens. It's completely one-sided. Now, it may be that doesn't really matter why, but it's possible that they are shy, that they're awkward, that they don't know how to make conversation. And then it's also possible that they're just so self-absorbed that they could care less about anybody else. So after many years of feeling like, I can't believe they never even ask, I kind of got over it. And it's like, they're never going to ask. Okay, they're not interested. Accept it, move on. Those aren't the people you're going to be sharing all your stuff with, because they actually don't want to hear it. So once I realized that, and I let myself off the hook, and I did not take it personally, it wasn't because I was boring or didn't have anything going on, or it had nothing to do with me. It was 100% them. 100% them not being interested, not having the skills, being self-absorbed, being whatever. I was never going to change them, regardless of my communication skills. It's not up to me to change them. But not everybody is that extreme. There are some friends that actually may want to hear what you have to say, but the conversation has been one-sided. Usually, when you employ these tips that I've given you about tell me more, I see, yes, go on is another good phrase. What else? And then you reflect back. That is a game changer. And now they're kind of like, oh, I emptied the tank. I said everything I wanted to say. Now they just might be ready to listen to you. If you find yourself in that situation, a helpful phrase that you could try would be, oh, that's a very interesting perspective you shared. Or, oh, thanks for sharing all of your updates and your news. And then you say this, would you like to hear what's going on with me? You ask them, would you like to hear my view? Oh, that's a really interesting perspective you have. Would you like to hear my perspective? You offer that first before you launch into your view. Now, you actually are putting them in the driver's seat, and it kind of catches them off guard. And once they say, now you've kind of called them on it. It's like, are they going to say yes? Or are they going to actually say, no, I could care less what you have to say. I never asked you anyway. I want them to say that. I want them to own it. I want them to be on notice. And so I will say, oh, thank you for sharing your point of view. Would you like to hear my point of view? What do you think about this technique, friends? And then if they say yes, now the door is open and you can share your point of view. I would love to find out how that goes for you in your situations. I want to see what is going on in your situations here. Let me know. Thank you, everybody, for giving a like to this video and leaving a comment here as you do in the stream, because that helps more people see the video. And let's see. Carolyn says, we can't change anyone. We can love them who they are. Let's see. Thank you. Another YouTube viewer. Thanks for being on board. Oh my goodness. Friends, I know that you're going to be back at 3 p.m. because some of you are asking questions for the 3 p.m. show. And I'm so glad that you're here. So it's ironic that we're talking about talking and talking about listening. And so part of the listening is listening. So the 10 a.m. show is all about me adding positive value to your life. We're not talking about all that hogwash. Why would I want to start my morning off talking about that? I sure don't. But once the day is up and running, and I roll up my sleeves at 3 p.m. I promise you. And you know what? If you can't wait, you can go right to the religious exemptions playlist. So I'm so glad that we have that available for you as all of my resources. All right, friends, thank you so much. Mama Lula says not crossing her arms is a bit of a challenge. So, as long as you're aware of it, to me, awareness is one of the most important things that one of the most important skills we can develop. So if you find that you're doing it and you're like, okay, I think let me try to do something else with my arms, it just gives a much more open body position and people feel that you are open and you probably are. So let's show that as well. And I would love to hear if you can institute this in your situations. Now, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, and I hope that you're going to join us over at thehealthyamerican.org. I'm going to put that up here so you can see this is where you could really apply some of these communication skills. Let me share my screen, and we are going to hop right on over. And if you go to events, you're going to see the second annual Healthy American Thanksgiving Feast. And that is where we would love to have you join us. This is going to be in North County, San Diego. We are going to be exactly on Thanksgiving Day. So for those of you that do not want to spend Thanksgiving with your family, spend it with us or bring your family with us. And we would love to see you. It is going to be catered. It's delicious. We're going to have music. There will be some fun games. And there are tickets available now. Some of you have said, Peggy, I can't make it, but I would love to donate a ticket. And that is an option where you do scholarship, which means you are donating a ticket for someone else to attend. We really appreciate that. And at the holiday times, that's where a lot of us are gathered with people that we don't see maybe all the time, or there are more people all together. So the dynamic of talking and interacting is quite challenging. And I tell you, that is where I have learned and applied some of these skills. And at a certain point, what I just do is I say in my mind, I'm like, help them grow, Lord. Help them grow. Help them grow, Lord. That's like all I can do because there's some friction. And why not be pleasant for a holiday? It's not the time to be doing the knock down, drag out fights. So employ some of these skills. Let me know if you have some tips as well. And I think for me, it puts my mind at ease to remember that people are so self-absorbed, to not take these things personally. If someone doesn't care what I'm up to, you know what? That doesn't matter. I care what I'm up to. So, and I care what you are up to. I am going to share this beautiful card. Look at how pretty this is. I just love that. And it's a little kind of 3D here with little crystals. It's so pretty. I just love being encouraged by you, friends. This is from Anne, and she says, Dear Peggy, you are such a wealth of knowledge, a blessing, a treasure, a gift to the body of Christ. To the people of California, to the people of this nation, thank you for your diligence, your fight, and teachings in showing us how to do the same. Fight on, dear one. It is not in vain. Sending prayers. She said, I loved the videos of you and your husband. My daughter has gone through you for her religious exemption as a nurse. Thank you so much, Anne. And I also appreciate your financial support. This is just a beautiful card. It really encourages me, and I want those words to encourage you as well. So we are going to be talking all about those religious exemptions and everything else that is going on at 3 p.m. I want to encourage all of you, regardless of where you work. Everyone has their rights. So that's the only thing you really need to know, is you have God-given rights. Nobody can take a right from you. So starting from that position, you can move forward in confidence. All right, I'll see everybody at 3 p.m. Thank you to all of my moderators, all of the Healthy Americans. You're smart, you're sassy sometimes, and you are supportive. And I really appreciate you being here with me. I'll see everybody at 3 p.m. And if you can't wait, go through the religious exemptions playlist or hop on over to thehealthyamerican.org. And I've got so much there for you to dive into for your own self-study. See you soon.